I am so excited to tell you something real, raw, probably relatable that I have seen with 3 different business owners inside of my LeaderSHIFT program in the last month. And I can't believe how common this feeling is, this thought is, this, I don't even want to say problem, right? It's an opportunity. I think we all hate that term, but it's true. It really is. And the reason I know this is because, well, I lived it. I did this too. And you're probably wondering, what is she talking about? What is this thing that she feels compelled to talk about right now? And I want to share it with you. But first, I want to introduce myself in case you do not know me. My name is Emily Hawkins. I have 15 years in the corporate world leading processes and people to productive results, streamlining all of these things for productive results. I've done it for Fortune 500s, all the way down to a small startup. Then I opened my own startup 6 years ago, and I was featured in Forbes in 2020 for the work that I did inside of that. But then I took it a step further and decided that it was time for every small business to have the tools that I personally created that aren't hard. They don't involve software unless you want them to, if you have software. And they don't require an MBA. They don't require even a 4-year degree. And that's what I'm here sharing with you so that your business can grow faster and realizing more profits, keeping those profits, managing fewer people, and if you do need to grow your team, finding people faster. So, over the past 30 days, I have noticed a shift, and I don't mean the pun. I was not meaning that as a pun, with 3 different businesses I've worked with. And all 3 of them had a similar scare. And the scare was, wait a minute. If I put all of these things in place, or in one business's case, I've put all these things in place, now what do I do? And what I mean by that is, what do they do when they get out of the weeds? And most businesses struggle with this because they think that if they're not in the weeds, then they are not valuable to their business. And I know this because I lived it. If I am not doing the work, then where is my value? And I will tell you that when you free up your hands, your goal is to pass that work down to somebody else. So you're freeing up your hands so that you can take on things you've never done before. So it's completely normal to wonder, what exactly should I be doing? That's a good thing. And what I will tell you will happen if you do not do this, if you continue to buffer with things that are inside of your business, is your business will either stop growing or atrophy, meaning it will start to slide backwards. I know this all too well because it actually happened to me. I reached a certain point in my business, saw success, and was like, I'm good. I'm going to hang out here. And so I stayed in the doer role because it's what I knew. And I don't know about you, but I love a level of certainty. Certainty, sameness, safety helps me feel like I have control. And when I do not have that feeling, it's really unsettling. It's sometimes hard to sleep at night. Sometimes you panic. What if I'm moving in the wrong direction? But what if instead you were nervous-sided? Now, this is a term that my 3rd grade son uses, and I just can't recommend it enough. Nervous-sided is really how we should live on a daily basis. If you have all of the answers, if you are the smartest person in every room you go in, my friend, you got to get in different rooms. You got to bring on tasks that make you nervous, because those are the very things that will grow your business, grow your skill sets. And when you grow, the people that are behind you, that amazing team that you have created, that get supported by the dollars that you bring in with these new ideas, with these new things, everything changes. Everything changes. Now, I want to go back to something I said. I said buffering. So I don't know if you've ever heard this term, but we all do it. We all buffer, right? You're bored at a doctor's office. What do? You get out your phone, right? You get out your phone and you play a game or you check your email or whatever. That, my friends, is buffering. So rather than sitting in the uncomfortableness, you are buffering with your phone. By the way, if you picked up a magazine, that's also buffering. So there's good buffering, like that's fine. You're sitting in a doctor's office, it's fine, right? But what about buffering in your business? How is that dangerous? Well, you see a task that you need to do. One of the business owners that I have been working with said, I've been putting this off for 2 years. Some of the things that we have been addressing and have conquered in the last couple of weeks, which I'm so excited about. So why have they not been doing this? Well, because there are other things that need to happen in the business, right? They're buffering with that. They're buffering with what they know. So instead of going out and doing the thing that makes this person uncomfortable, I did it too, right? They say to themselves, oh, I need to revamp our sales process. I need to, go and monkey around with our internal systems. I need to make sure that Carol is doing her job right because we just hired her and I don't think she does it the way I would do it. So let me go see if I can help her. I hope that the last one led you to the path of, if you're micromanaging hardcore, you, my friends, are buffering with tasks that you know so that you don't have to do tasks that you don't know. Now, I'm sharing this as a friend. I am sharing this as somebody who every single week, if I don't have something on my calendar that makes me a little excited, then I'm probably not going to be growing my business this week or next week or any of those weeks. Not only do I want to make sure that I have something on my calendar that makes me nervous and excited because I don't 100% know if it will work. I don't know how to do it. I don't understand it fully. Any of those things, that's a good thing because it means you're going to grow in some way. Typically, though, when I have those things on my calendar, I pass that nervous-sided right on down the line, and I give my team members things to get nervous-sided about themselves. So I'm not the only uncomfortable one in the business. That's not fun. Let's all be a little uncomfortable. So what was once new for me is now old hat and something that I'm comfortable with. So I'm passing it to someone else so that it can be new to them. And they can go learn the skills. Now, of course, you can put SOPs in place, standard operating procedures, give a loose guide of what success looks like so that person has, they're not walking into a dark room, right? You've given them a flashlight, or maybe you've just lit up the whole damn room. Good for you. That's amazing, but it's still a new task, a new system, a new process. It's something new. So when you go out and you grow your team is forced to grow too. It is potentially the coolest thing in the entire world because you all become better at what you do. So in the chat, in the comments, I would love for you to tell me something that you've been putting off because you feel like you don't know it, you don't understand it, you think you don't have time for it. I'm using that because if it really mattered, if I said to you right now that item would make you $1 million by next week, I bet you'd find time for it, right? I know I would. So don't tell me it's time. I want you to write down what are the things that you've been putting off. 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. And then be honest with yourself, and you don't have to write this down. You don't have to share this with me if you don't want to, or you can private message me and share with me. That's just fine. What is the secondary gain that you are getting by not doing this task? Now, the secondary gain is, I said, I don't have time, right? The secondary gain would be because I don't really want to put myself out there and get rejected. I don't want to fail I don't want to do something wrong. I don't want to irreparably damage my business, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure nothing on your list will actually do that because you're really, really smart people. What I want you to think about is the opposite of that. What will happen if you do it and it succeeds? So in my mind, instead of the secondary gain for why you're not doing it, which is I'm afraid I'm going to lose money, I'm afraid, all these things, let's remove fear and get excited. So this is the nervous-sided part, right? Nervous means you're taking it seriously. And excited is, what if everything went right? What could go right in this scenario? And it's so interesting. We actually get this amazing opportunity every single day to rewire our brains. Every day. And our brains are designed to look for danger, something that will threaten us. So amazing when we lived in caves or, when maybe we were conquering the West or something like that. I don't think we need these things now. What we need is to challenge ourselves. And the very thing that challenges us is moving away from negative thoughts. And I want you to think about positive things that happen, and you can actually rewire your brain to look for possibility instead of limitation. This will help you embark on those nervous-sided tasks that you've been putting off. How do I know this? Because I do it every single day. I literally force myself to write down everything that went right the last 24 hours. And I put some really mundane things on there, but guess what? That went right. And sometimes amazing big things happened. But every single day, I wire my brain to look for the positive, to look for the good, to look for the possibility. And by doing this, by rewiring my brain to look for positive things, putting something that makes me nervous, excited on my calendar every single week, passing something off to my team members every single week that should make them nervous-sided, well, our business is growing. Our business is thriving. And I am growing every single week. And here's the craziest thing. I want to let you in on a secret. I don't know why my nose is running today. I want to let you in on a secret. Everything that I thought would happen when I do these tasks that make me nervous-sided, it never happens the way I think. It's always better. It's always better. I get the opportunity to grow in ways that I never thought possible. Ways, if you said to me where my business is right now a year ago, I would have laughed at you. I never would have thought that in a year, in 6 years when I left the corporate world, that I would have touched thousands of lives and businesses with this work. But it's only because I am willing to grow and think differently and tackle things inside of my business that make me freaking uncomfortable, like really, really uncomfortable. The things I'm teaching you guys, this is my wheelhouse. This is my jam. I know processes. I know people. I know how to streamline. I can build you a structure. I can do all these things. When I am creating the business around it, that's very different, right? So what is your wheelhouse? What is the thing that you do so well? And how can you push the envelope on it? How can you get in front of more customers? How can you support your team and empower them to do the work? So again, the 3 businesses that I am so proud of, you know who you are. One actually cried to me saying, everything is removed. All of my time is free now, and I don't know what to do with it. And by the way, we built out a plan for exactly what this person should be doing. I just love that they were as honest as they were. Another person said, well, if I am not in the weeds, then I am of no value to my company. And I said, ooh, no. Actually, if you're in the weeds, you are less valuable to your company. If you are over the top of everything, you are at a better vantage point to support and grow your clients and the team that supports those clients. Being above the work, above the fray, above that buffer that you're putting in place puts you in a power position to powerfully lead your team, your time, and be the front runner in your industry. It is the place to be. Now, one of these business owners said, gosh, all I do all day long, if this is the case, is manage people. I don't believe you should be doing that. I believe you need an operator, a right hand. I might even go as far as to say a left hand. I'm a right-handed person. A good portion of the population, we're right-handed people. If you're left-handed, then stick with me on this analogy and pretend for a moment that you're right-handed. So when we say a right-hand man, a right-hand person, I don't think that's really what we need, because I can write really well with my right hand. So what you're saying functionally is that I need somebody who is just like me, right? I want a left-hand man. You know why? Because I can't write with this hand. I really can't do much with it. I'm not ambidextrous at all. I want somebody who is the yin to my yang. If I am great at processes, then I want them great at people. If I am great at sales, then I want somebody who's great at operations. Who is your left-hand man or woman or person? Who is the left hand? Who complements your skills? Who can pick up and fill your blind spot? That's what you need. And I do not believe, as the visionary, the owner, the CEO of the company, that you personally should be managing a team of people. You need an operator right under you, an operations manager, the left hand. That's what I'm going to call it, the left hand. This person, their job is to keep the noise down, to keep your ability to buffer with the day-to-day low. You are not doing these things. Your operator, you are the pitcher, visionary. Your operator is the catcher. They catch it, and then they call the shot. Where's this going? Who's going to be working on it? When is the due date? Let's focus on these things. You as the owner should not be the one dictating these things. And guess what else? They're your left hand, right? They're your left hand. Correct? I should say that. Let's not mix left and right here. If they're your left hand, then there's going to be a healthy little friction there. It's so good. You need friction in your business. Not like knockdown, drag outs, Jerry Springer, hitting people with chairs and stuff. That's not what I mean. I actually mean you need somebody who you share an idea with and they're like, no. Or, how about instead of doing that next week, we do it in 6 months because blah, 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 right? That hurts, right? You as an owner are like, I want to go do this thing and I want to go do it now because it's sexy and cool, da-da-da-da-da. And this person's like, we're not doing that. But they don't just say no, they give you a reason. They share with you what it is. Now you know why that feels like a left hand, right? Because I did it again. Correct, because it's not natural for you to think that way. But we all need this. So, from today's topic, the real raw, no slides, hanging out with you, sharing these things candidly, what I believe your takeaways from today are. 1, do something this week that scares the bejesus out of you inside of your business. Something you have been putting off. You have that list. It might be in your head. It might be written down. Promise me in the chat right now that you will tackle one thing on your list this week. 2, scare the bejesus out of somebody on your team. And what I mean there is hand off something that is so comfortable and familiar that this person, it's new and it's different and they've never done it before. Hand it off. Spread the uncomfortableness around. You will both grow. 3, look for something positive. Look for positive all day long. Don't look for negative. Look for positive. Rewire your brain, because the more often you train your brain this way, the more possibilities you see in your life. 4, Love on your operator. If you do not have an operator, it is time for you to look for an operator. If you do not know how to find an operator, then I think it's time for you to join the LeaderSHIFT Operating System, where this is one of many things that we put in place. Also, if maybe that thing on your plate, that nervous-sided list, is to build structure, hire team members, look at your processes, build a better culture, stop working 14-hour days, then maybe it's time to have a conversation with me. And maybe that is the nervous-sided thing you should be doing this week, because it's time to stop buffering with what you know and start tackling what you don't know, so that your business, your team, and you can grow. I hope that you have a wonderful day.